We only have a handful of characters left to go, guys. I can feel my voice giving out. Beat boiling point is plus 50, so you can set red rain. That's actually really sick. I didn't know that. Dude, watching a Scarlet with that variation versus a Blood Totem Kotal Khan, the game would just never end. remember, guys, like we're not talking about you know, we're not talking about variations that we're 100% gonna see. We're talking hypotheticals. Okay. Okay. Oh, so yeah, ERRON Black. ERRON Black could be quite disgusting with what I've just given him. Bear Trap time, you know it. VORAH is another one where, if I'm only going by moves that haven't been used yet, I feel like they're gonna give her Mother Bug, but I don't want. That's not what I'm gonna put in the video. I feel like Mother Bug is the one they'll give for like the meme of it, but like I want to see this. I want to see Flipping Out, Bombardier Beetle, and because it's the only thing that fits what I'm saying, Flyby. Flipping Out replaces the Ovipositor stab, so you'd be surprised. Okay. Actually, no, ERRON Black first. Flipping Out sucks. Okay, so ERRON Black and VORAH. ERRON Black, there was actually only one variation I had in mind, and it's this. It is the Nether Beast Trap, and it's the Acid Pour. The reason this is what I had in mind is Acid Pour is this, right? So Acid Pour is this kind of strike move. It's pretty slow, 17 frames, but that isn't what you'd use it for. Acid Pour is a move that can be amplified. So normally it does this, right? Normally it does this. He hits them, pours some acid on their head, and then knocks them away. So it's an ender, it does damage, but if you amplify it, it does considerably more damage. From 11 to 150. If they're standing in acid when this hits them, in any way, if they take a tick of acid damage during this, this will Crushing Blow and do a ton of damage. A ton of damage. And it's also unbreakable because it all comes in the form of one move. With how regularly people are obviously getting hit, this means that you could do something like Slide, and then if they disrespect, you can just do, you know, if you really read that they're going to disrespect, you can do Slide, back 2 into this, and I believe that will work because they started in it. I might be wrong. Okay, so that doesn't. I think this is more of a corner thing now. Yeah, I'm gonna put her in the corner to show this off. So if you get them in the corner, and they're in acid in any way, so you can do the Slide, and then that's the one. So if you do the Slide, and then back to into Acid Pour. Sorry, I've not done this in a long time, so my execution's ass. I didn't amplify it. There you go. That's gonna happen, and that's well over Half-Life. Back 2-2 goes into it after second hit. That's fine. Let's try it, because that's kind of exactly what I wanted to show off. Okay, so. Now, I don't think this will work, so I don't think you're standing in it. It's actually harder to do this post-patch because they made the acid smaller, so this definitely would have been better before. But that's actually not even the main point of what I'm showing here. The main point is the Nether Beast Trap. The Nether Beast Trap is this. Set that up, and if they walk on it, they get stunned. You can turn that stun into acid, so if they get stunned by it, you can acid, and then you can, I assume they can tech that, but you can get them on the acid, do damage. But if they're in the Nether Beast trap, and you do acid, you can then... Will this work? I think I have to do a different normal. I think I'm still doing pre-patch stuff. Okay, no, it does work. So it gives you damage to cash out on some big unbreakable stuff. The Nether Beast trap, the main thing about Nether Beast trap is the setup potential. It's like sub, where you can slide, and if they land on it, you know, then whatever you want to go for, pretty much. So if you wait acid and then back forward one. But you know, you guys are seeing the gist of it, right? You know, we're talking optimals. You don't even need to do that most of the time, because you have such a high damage here as well. You can you know, turn this on hit into that. You know, even that by itself. Yeah, command, grab, and trap would be nice, but again, we're talking about moves that haven't been used yet, and I feel like Acid Pour and Nether Beast actually do have some decent synergy, especially in the corner too. Like if you get someone cornered, and you you know, you get the trap on them in some way. If you're just far enough out, the thing is, this also has mad startup, so it's hard to get the Nether Beast trap out. But if you do manage to get it, you get some real nice damage potential. I don't know the optimals again, but oh yeah, you can also amp the trap to kick it as like a range stun, which is cool. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with the acid pour, right? The acid pour it synergizes with the fact that if you have acid on the ground and you hit them, you know, they'll then stand on it. So if you throw it, if you go for like this into acid, and then you know they're gonna get hit, you know, you can whiff punish strings into this. Does 4-3-2 work? I wonder. I can't imagine it will. No. You can you can whiff punish with buttons into the acid pour for decent damage by itself. This is like 1 bar. It's gonna do, like, that's not terrible damage for what it is. But again, if there's acid anywhere, the crushing blow will happen. It's not hard to get it practically. The Nether Beast trap, again, you know, if you do manage to get yourself a decent amount of knockdown or you kick them away, it's cool. No, it's cool, and you don't lose the acid either. Shadow play with a 52 months, dude. Holy crap! 52 months of being sub. Could have bought a cool hat with this money. You could have done. I could also buy a cool hat with the money you've given me. But welcome back, dude. Thank you very much for sticking with us for so long. But again, you know, it's another example of, it's not just about moves that haven't been used. It's moves that will let him play in a different way. And Nether Beast trap lets ERRON Black play a unique game, and it's a cool move. You know, I really hope we get the chance to see it, just for the fact that it is really interesting. I don't know how good it could be, because it does have a lot of startup, but I feel like it's one of those moves that if you do actually get to set it up, your reward is really good, Oki. Because if you like hit this and you throw them on it, there you go, you're gonna get some kind of combo, right? You lose safety, but for much scarier mix-ups. Is that gonna work? Let me do the back one. Yes, I feel like Sonic Fox could do some really cool stuff with this, for sure. But that's the thing, right? Like, this might not be as good as the other Ice Clone-esque moves in the game, but other characters don't have this. You know, other characters don't necessarily have this. You know, the crushing blows that come with those as well. So I feel like it definitely balances out. This variation of the VORAH, however, is something that I feel... Again, it's a mix-up style. This variation of Devora I've given flyby, but that's not really the point. Again, it's sticking by the rules of only going with moves that haven't been put in yet. This is the only one that was really left. But the real point of this variation is Bombardier, Beetle, and Flipping Out. This is definitely super different to the Devora that you will normally see. The real point being, instead of you know, strip cetera or step, whatever the hell it's called, you know, the pooping bug, I don't know what it's called. You get Bombardier Beetle, which is this little guy. This guy drops down and then jumps at him. It's a 8% strep cetera. Okay, that's the one. If you amplify it, he runs at him from full screen. And by God, does he keep running. If they walk back, he walks back with them. He continues to run until he hits something. He is always a low. So you can end in, you know, what people would normally do. So if you go for, you know, a standard VORAH combo, you get the bug out and then, you know, throw them into it, or they block and they block him and then your advantage. It's a mid as well, so they can't crouch him. It's hard for them to avoid him. So if they do, you hit this, you go for this into Bombardier, you know, that's good. And then on hit, you can combo from him. And on block, you get some cool stuff. And that leads me on to my next move, flipping out. Instead of the ovipositor stab, you get this. So this is what you get instead. You lose the safety, you lose the advantage of the ovipositor stab. But you get an overhead special. This is an ender you can use, so you can go for this. And then end combos with it if you want. But the good thing about this is flipping out, crushing blow if the opponent is hit by it twice in a row. So if you end a combo with this, and then it hits again, overhead, this is gonna launch. This is gonna launch and crushing blow. I can't remember what the optimal is off of it. Let me just. I'm gonna turn on easy crushing blows just to try and look for one very quickly. I don't know if this works. I don't think it does. Probably. Let me try the far one, see if that works. Can't imagine it will. Okay, it doesn't. But the point remains is it gives you a launcher, right? It's a meterless launcher. You don't have to spend bar on it. And if you end a combo in it, you then get the chance to then have the threat, because this isn't a reactable overhead either. Like this is a 15 frame move. No one's reacting to that. So you get to, you know, hit someone with it. Forward one, forward 1, forward 2. Yeah, so you get a decent chunk of damage off of it. But one thing that I like a lot about it is if you hit them with this, right? If you've hit it once, right, and then you do like a standing one and then do it again, it's not going to work. However, it only registers a move interrupting it if the move connects. So, watch this. Hit them with it once. Do the amplified Bombardier Beetle. Run with him. Overhead. Overhead. That was overhead, low overhead. So if you do the Bombardier Beetle. And then hit this. And then you do it again, meaty. Low overhead, overhead. Because you did the bug first. And... oops. Because you do the bug first. And then hit this. They're now going to take a hard to blockable. They have to. Because they got knocked over. Just they wake up. You can. But, you know, the question is, does it make her unsafe? I'm not talking airtight setups here. I'm talking hypotheticals. You know, stuff that a variation is potentially capable of doing. You know, we're not looking for airtight, guaranteed mix-ups and setups. It's something that she can't do in other variations. You know, you look at the setups of Buzz, and it's more about kind of traditional throwing them onto bugs, extended pressure, you know, use of this. You know. Please let me combo from that. Please let me combo from that. Oh, that would be good, wouldn't it? Oh. God, I hope that works. I don't know if it does. I have no idea. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. Low bug and then back 3-4. Let me crawl with him. But whatever. This is kind of besides the point. It means that you lose the safety and the amplification of... you know, and the hit stun or the hit advantage, sorry, of ovipositors. But you get the overhead of flipping out, you get the ender. You can do it in the air as well, so, you know, jump kicks could be turned into it. And then, because it hits, hit it again, it will crushing blow. Flyby I really don't get this move, but it hasn't been used in a variation, so if you want to get out the corner for free, you can do it. So like if they're pressuring you and they back up, See you later. You can just do it off of things. So if they block that, you're out. If they get hit, you're out. This move is super weird. I don't really get it. But you know, it hasn't been put in a variation yet, and by my own rules, it's kind of the only one that's left. Yeah, let's move on to the next characters. I think we might be nearing the last couple.